This guy just filled up the whole Shaw Center, literally packed house, and you were also speaking with every individual that walked in and had a open conversation with everyone.
People don't really care as much as you think, right? I blunder words and stutter a bit and nobody cared. We co-founded Faces Magazine together back in 2007. It was super low risk when I went full time, but it was you learn a lot when you're working. I worked a lot when the kids were young. They were napping. I'd sit down and crush out a couple hours of work.
Did you grow up in an entrepreneurial family?
Yeah, so my dad.
Kyle,
How you
thanks for
doing?
joining.
Thank you.
I was talking to a lot of my colleagues and I said, I'm meeting with Kyle today. And their first response is, I know Kyle, I know Kyle, I know Kyle. And it's funny because I see you at so many events. I see you in the community. You built not only a personal brand, but so many different relationships out there in Ottawa. What's your mindset around going to all these events, building relationships, shaking hands? Because I do think a lot of people are getting back to that more now than ever, and that human touch is so important. Um, does that was that always a strategy for you?
No, I wouldn't say strategy. I think I'm just a social person. So even just growing up, I had all kinds of different friend groups. I wasn't stuck with the same few people. You'll notice a lot of people, really core group. I've always been one to kind of spread my wings a little bit, and I love just meeting new people. It's just fun for me. It's not a strategy. It's just a way of life, let's say. Yeah.
And the first time I met you, we were at a Walsh gala. I think you did a poker event there,
Oh, yes, the, casino, the Welch
casino, and
Casino.
I'm like,
Yeah.
this guy just filled up the whole. I think it was the Shaw Center at that time.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
the Shaw Center. Filled up the whole Shaw Center, literally packed house, and you were also speaking with every individual that walked in and had a open conversation with everyone. Like I felt that was, and that was what 10 years ago, probably.
Yeah, I think it might have been 2017, so maybe 9 years ago, 2017, somewhere around there, yeah.
So if we take you back to before your career, how did you get into marketing? Did you go to school for marketing? What's the story behind the Kyle?
Yeah, I went to St. FX,
Mm.
took business, didn't know what I wanted to do. When I was there, I just like to have a good time. I was playing hockey over in Truro, so I missed a decent amount of class, and just trying to figure myself out.
Mm.
I ended up leaning towards sales and marketing classes for a major because they were the easiest ones. Being a bit of a slacker at school and university, but I think it came. I think it just came easier to me. Finance, accounting just wasn't my thing. It didn't interest me, and I always had a lot of fun in kind of those marketing and sales type classes. So I think that's kind of why I went down that road. But yeah, took it in university, ended up enjoying it.
And sales and marketing usually scares the crap out of a lot of people. Speaking in front of people, speaking on camera. Did that come naturally to you or did you?
Oh, I still can't speak on camera. You put a video camera in front of me, so I'll produce videos. But Emily on our Meerkat team shoots them, and she'll always laugh at me. But I usually shoot one sentence at a time. As soon as you put the camera in my face, I kind of go, ah.
And I think it's a generational thing because once I started posting on TikTok, I started with TikTok about a year ago to build my personal brand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so freaking awkward. Putting a camera in your face and just talking to it. Like my eye was blinking. I just was nitpicking everything. I felt like I couldn't talk. Like it was super awkward. So I'm glad a professional marketer still feels that way too. And I think it
Yeah.
goes a long way for people starting out as well to be like, that cringe is a part of the game.
Oh,
Now,
for sure.
do
Yeah.
you still put yourself in front of camera or you kind of like leave it for other people? Let me do other stuff. Or you
I made a video yesterday,
okay.
put it up online. I still do it. I think it's important. It's still fun for me and to get to experience it. but I think it's not like my strongest forte. I think where people get held back is they got to realize people don't really care as much as you think, right? I blunder words and like
Yeah.
stutter a bit, and like nobody cares.
Yeah.
It's if you have something valuable to say, something entertaining, people will tune in and want to listen. If you're boring and talking about very generic, boring stuff, nobody's going to listen.
Yeah.
But I think it's just finding kind of your style and what you're about.
And it's funny you say that because I totally agree. Once I got over the fact that no one gives a shit, really, like
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
literally a scroll up. I started to be more relaxed. I started to like not care. And those are the videos that do way better when you kind of just have an openness to it. Um, how big is like organic social media clips versus the meeting? Because a lot of people, I mean, go to events and meet with different people, it's a lot of time, energy, commitment. I mean, if you have family, it's, evenings you're taken away from kind of that aspect of it. W- We're in 2026 now. Like, what is a good tidbit of information for people that are starting out? Like, go to these events, do the organic. Like, there's a lot of noise out there right now.
Yeah, I think going to events is great because you get a lot of information, right? So not only do you get to meet some cool people, have fun, but you get to hear what they're talking about. What challenges are business owners having? What is the market looking like? What problems can you solve? Like these are all things that you can think about when you're talking to people. If you're not going out to events, you're just stuck in whatever algorithm you have on your phone.
Mhm.
And as soon as you watch one video on something, that's all it's going to be all over your newsfeed, right? Because social is very interest based now. So I think getting out to events is very important to just understand what's going on. Knowing people's challenges and how you can help them is kind of one of the most valuable things I think I get from events. Then, if you're creating content, you can create content around, what value can you give these people with these common challenges. And then also, I find the organic social, I'm pretty open on social, probably more than most. I'll post, dancing with my daughter to, professional marketing videos to clips of my son playing basketball. All these things kind of help, I think, when you're out at events because people, it's just easy to talk about things, right? Like, "Oh, I saw your son playing basketball. He's great." And then you start getting down the basketball chat, and then you understand what their kids are up to, right? So it also, I find the social just makes it easier to talk to people because people know more about what's going on. So I think it supports the events.
What social platforms are you on?
LinkedIn is probably my biggest. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I think that's yeah.
And what's your posting schedule? Is it like whenever you have an idea type of thing?
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
consistent with it, or like what's your strategy around that?
Honestly, it's I try to do on LinkedIn, I'll try to do a minimum of 2 posts a month. So you don't have to post. That's another misconception, right? So you don't have to post 5 times a day. If you're trying to be like a content creator as your career on like Instagram or TikTok, then yeah, 5 times a day is probably what you want to aim for, right?
Mm.
And really get out there. If you're looking to just build a personal brand and stay present and uh, be a part of your industry or your niche, you don't have to post a ton. Typically, I'm usually around one a week if you average it out. But at a minimum, if I'm not hitting 2 posts a month on LinkedIn, I'm kind of falling behind and getting upset.
And how long have you been posting on LinkedIn for?
So I really got into it when I was at Welch. I created my LinkedIn account. I think it was like 2011. My first photo though was me. I had shades on and a backwards hat, and it was like a black and white filter on it, kind of like a. I think it was going for that like Jay Z,
There you go.
the rock type look back in the day. So I always tell people that too, like just get started. I've come a long way on LinkedIn. I think I started posting consistently once I got to Welch, because that's where I really started to get more professional with my career. So it's how I got started.
So you graduated with a marketing degree,
Yeah.
and then what happened after that?
Couldn't find a job.
Mm,
I wanted to stay out east, so I loved Halifax as a city. My brother was living there, so I thought it'd be a great place, but I couldn't find a job anywhere. My brother and I kind of graduated high school at the same time. We were that double cohort. So he was the last year
mhm,
of grade 13. I was grade 12. So we graduated together. So we kind of finished university at the same time. He was able to get a job pretty quick because he's a creative designer type guy, very, very skilled. So he got a job, no problem. I was kind of left. Where do I want to go? How do I stay out east? So I ended up starting my own business. I convinced my brother to leave his job that he got, and we co-founded Faces Magazine together back in 2007. So I'm a dinosaur now.
wow.
Yeah.
Faces magazine was what?
So basically, it was just photos of people out at bars, clubs, restaurants, different events around town, concerts. It was the year when Facebook opened up to the public. So back in the day when I was first on Facebook, you had to have a university degree, university email
Right.
to join Facebook,
Wow,
and it
so
was
that you were back in the day
yeah,
signing up to that.
yeah, yeah. So I was on it early. I think it
Yeah,
was like third year university. I
yeah.
got on Facebook, but we used to use it to promote our parties at our house. Um, so that's kind of how we kind of that's how I first saw the value of Facebook and bringing a community together. And then when it opened up to the public, it became such a big thing. It was almost like a printed Facebook Faces magazine back in the day. And now it's still going in Ottawa here, but it's kind of more of a legit magazine. It's
Mhm.
pretty nice.
So and you did that in Halifax?
Yeah, so started in Halifax. We grew by franchising. So we had 6 locations going
Wow.
all at once. Ottawa was our second location that we launched. Um, None of them really did overly well, the franchises, for one reason or another. So we ended up back down to 2 locations. It was just Halifax running. My brother was operating that one, and I was running the Ottawa location. Um, and then we ended up just selling them off to different folks separately.
Did someone come to you or you were looking for the sale?
We were looking like I think we understood that our growth model didn't work out the way we wanted it to, but we still had a really viable product in the
Mhm,
markets where we were able to make it work, Halifax and Ottawa. And um, I wouldn't say we were looking for it, but we weren't close to the idea. So when we people always wanted to run it, like it was kind of one of those just kind of cool vibes, I guess,
mhm.
and people wanted to be a part of it. So we always got offers and people talking about it. So when it was time to sell, it was pretty well easy to do.
How long did you run that for?
7 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, did it for seven
So
years.
you right out of college type of thing,
Yeah,
maybe a few months after to 7 years full time, you and your brother
yeah.
building it up and going on with it. So that was your first taste of entrepreneurship.
It was. It
Or
was.
did you get addicted right off the bat?
Oh, my brother and I have always kind of been entrepreneurial. So it's funny, I did a talk at Carleton University in Canada to
Mm,
some students, and the thing they were most interested in was some of the businesses that I tried to launch and just weren't successful.
mm.
So like in high school, I believe it was, we tried to start butt face towels, which is like a picture of your butt and a picture of your face so that you didn't wipe in the same area kind of thing.
Okay.
And we did that with a friend. Back then. And then we also launched like a t-shirt company way back in the day. That didn't work out too well. What else we did? We had one called MP3 Monkey. It was like going to be this like kind of like the iTunes store where you could buy the
Mhm.
MP3s for solos. That didn't work out very well. We had Ass Wipes toilet paper company that we were trying to launch with like novelty toilet paper. That didn't work out well
Well,
either.
now the wipes, do you like, I forget the brand that was
Oh,
on it.
Dude Wipes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're $100,000,000
Yeah,
company. So
crushing. Yeah.
you were there 15 years
Well,
ago.
we tried a lot of things.
Was that the concept you were thinking about? Like,
It was no, it was basically like NHL teams. You wipe your butt with the NHL team toilet paper.
Did you grow up in an entrepreneurial family?
Yeah, so my dad had his own business, Lawrence Slinger Service in Peterborough.
Okay.
He sold it a few years back, and then moved up to Ottawa here to be closer to the grandkids. But
Okay.
I always grew up, my mom and dad were running the business.
And
So
it's you and your brother?
yeah,
You just there's just
just
2
the
of
two of
you?
us. Yeah,
And he was entrepreneurial too, like, so
yeah,
all these ideas, he was like, "Let's do it," type of
yeah,
thing?
yeah, yeah. He was always down. He'd lead a lot of them, and I wasn't. I don't know, I wasn't as skilled as he was at the craft, so he was always the, like, creator, and then I was always the, like, sales and marketing
Promoter.
person to push it out, so, we had a Flash website design company one time too. Um, that one was really good. It was good until the iPhone came out.
What's
That's
that?
how old we are, but
What's a Flash website?
exactly, yeah. The young kids don't know. So back in the day, it was like right now you'd build on like WordPress or
Yeah.
Shopify or Webflow, one of those. Back then, a lot of the websites were built in Adobe Flash. So that's how you built them. We were basically like my brother was so good at it. We were like the specialists in Halifax at the time. If anybody kind of really wanted a Flash website, it was kind of running through us. And then the iPhone came out and said we were not supporting Flash websites. So then nobody wanted a Flash website basically overnight.
Shit.
So
So y
that so we when we started, we were running the Flash website design and Faces at the same time.
mhm.
When the iPhone killed the Flash web business, we basically went all in on Faces, and that's when we started the growth plan through franchising.
And then once you sold, how was that first experience of selling a business?
Wasn't a very big business to be honest,
Mm,
so wasn't anything overly crazy.
mm.
As you could tell, I didn't retire, take time off, went right back into the workforce. So
And
we did well, but the
but
experience was
yeah.
pretty like it was like both of us sold to like basically buddies who we
Mhm,
already knew that
mhm,
were advertisers in the magazine already. And it was basically like, yeah, we'll take it. Okay, perfect.
mm,
Like it was very, very simple,
mm,
not no heavy lift.
mhm.
Yeah.
And then after that, what happened next?
So after that, I got into the workforce, ended up going to Canada Post, had fun there, but then I got recruited through LinkedIn to join Welch. And funny story, when I interviewed at Welch, I actually was told I never got the job. Um, and then a couple months later, they came back and asked if I wanted to interview again for it. So I was like, all right. And ended up getting it then. And that was a great spot. I think Welch is a spot where I kind of learned a lot about like a professional career besides like being an entrepreneur, wild child. So I learned a lot. Michael Birch there, Garth Steele, Don Scott, a lot of the partners there kind of really showed me kind of how to be a professional, I would say.
And what made you go into the professional settings? Like, you're building a business, you're doing that day-to-day thing. Now you go to a big professional organization that,
Yeah.
I mean, accounting, I know accounting more than anyone.
Yeah.
It's like, y as a creative, it's probably the last place you would go. Um, yeah, what drove you to go to work for someone to be that professional?
Yeah, well, I didn't so it was right around the time we were just having kids, my wife and I, so I couldn't really risk it on trying to start another business in case it didn't work out. So that's what put me into kind of that corporate professional world. Welch in accounting, I just thought it was a great fit. Like the people when I met them and interviewed with them were just so kind, so nice. Like I was like, oh, these are people I'd love to work with.
Mm,
I know accounting's not the sexiest thing for a marketer to get into, but it was like an unreal place to work as a marketer. They basically, um, they were pretty hands off. They trusted you and they gave you a team to do what you needed to do, right? So it was almost like we had built a like a mini agency of just highly talented marketers, and we had one big client, which was Welch.
mm.
So it was actually it felt like you were running your own shop because they kind of just trusted you and you'd report back and they'd help with direction and stuff, but they were just such a fun group to work with. Jim McConnery, who leads it there now, he's a beauty,
Mm.
and I had a lot of fun with him too when I was there. So
So what was your title there and what was your responsibilities?
Director of marketing, and it was to lead the marketing initiatives.
So tell me what an initiative would be.
So I mean, there's a lot of events that we hosted as well as attended. We did webinars, built content, website, social media, email marketing, kind of everything around marketing. We were involved in.
And why I'm asking this question is kind of like from then to now, how do things change? But we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Because probably 10 years ago, your philosophy was probably a lot different than it is now, just because of how everything's moved so quickly. So after Walsh, what happened?
After Welch, I went to Keynote Surge. Had a great time there with James and Donna. You probably know them from some events out
Yeah,
here.
they're big events people as well, right?
Yeah, so we had a great time there as well. And then eventually I just made my way to going full time into Meerkat. So Meerkat, I had started kind of as a side business and then hopped right into it full time.
Love the name.
Thank you. Yeah.
How did you come up with the name?
Yeah, people always ask. So I couldn't figure out a name. I didn't know. So obviously I leaned on my brother. I was like, what do I call this company? And then he was like, just pick an animal because it's way easier to make logos for. And he knew he would be the one having to make the logo for me. So he wanted to make it easy on himself. So I just typed in, knowing I was going to specialize a lot in social media. I typed in most social animals. Meerkats were one of the top at the list, and then they were my favorite animal at the Peterborough Zoo.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it was like coincidence.
so it was perfect,
Yeah.
and we still sponsor the meerkat enclosure at the Peterborough Zoo.
There you
Yeah,
go. So while you're working at Keynote,
yeah,
you're building a side gig as well,
yeah,
type thing, just on the side. Now, during you were at Keynote during the pandemic
yeah,
for a few years, because like to find staff at that time was like, what was your
yeah.
role? What was your role? Were you a partner there, or was what was?
No, so I was a VP of marketing.
Okay,
So I did the marketing for Keynote.
okay,
Um, so yeah, we went through the pandemic. Meerkat, like, is basically just helping friends, right? Because I had a lot of friends that were business owners and helping them out with some marketing. During the pandemic is when like just so many people just didn't know what to do. So I had so many people asking, like, what do I do from a marketing perspective? If I can only do one thing, what should I be doing? Hey, we're trying to do this. What can we do? So I was sending a lot of referrals to SEO Plus
mhm,
because obviously I had a full time job. I didn't have enough time to do it all because SEO Plus was a great agency in town, still are. As you know, I joined them.
mhm,
Um, so I was just sending so many referrals. They got to the point where I was like, I should really look at doing this full time.
mhm,
I ended up leaving Keynote. I went to Altus Recruitment,
mhm,
and then the referrals were just so steady that I was sending out that I knew if I hopped in full time, there'd be no problem kind
mhm.
of growing the business, and that's why I ended up kind of going full time Meerkat.
And talk about the side business thing. Like, if people are wanting to just like, how did you think about the side business, and do you recommend starting small and seeing if referrals are coming in before you take the launch? Like, you must have de-risked yourself significantly by, once
Yeah,
you went full time. I'm just thinking of that
yeah,
24-year-old or 26-year-old that isn't, or that it's working for someone that has started something. Because you were doing Meerkat for what, 5 years before, a few years before you went
yeah,
full time into that, right?
yeah.
How did you divvy up your time, and how did you think of that whole process?
Yeah, I think for me, it was just I wanted to help out my friends, and they all had a need, and
And
um,
Meerkat was building websites. What was it specifically doing at that time?
yeah. So I was building websites, doing logos, social media, building content, search engine optimization, whatever kind of made the most sense for the people I was helping out. I didn't have a ton of clients. I just started with a few buddies, and then I'd take on another person here and there, and kind of grow it. I think for me, it was I mean, it was super low risk when I went full time, but it was you learn a lot when you're working in like, so if you have a side business that's in something you love doing and it's fun for you and you're valuable, the learnings I took from just helping friends out, and when you're looking at data, you understand when it starts to trend, and then it actually translates to helping your job because you've got more data to understand what's happening in the marketing realm and how you can take the learnings from these side businesses you're working on to your kind of real job. And it ended up just being a great way to just learn more and continue to evolve with the industry, because the industry evolves so quickly, as you know.
And the conversations you have with the owners of the company that you're working for, is it an open conversation of, hey, I have this side gig, it's not conflicting with the current role?
Yeah, they were all aware. They all knew I had Meerkat. They had no problems with it. I was very, like I was always, I think, consider myself a hard worker.
Mm,
So I was always putting in like 120% for my employers. And honestly, the side stuff I do in the mornings, before work, in the evenings, weekends, like I worked a lot, especially when the kids were young. If they were napping, I'd sit down and crush out a couple hours of work.
mm,
So it was just finding the time to balance it.
mm.
Um, yeah.
And then you did that for how long until you went full time to America?
Meerkat, I think it was 3, 4 years.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then what made you decide, I'm going all in on this? The referrals coming in and
Yeah, the referrals. I think there was one big referral for, I forget who it was, but there's one was like, I really wish I could have taken that. That'd be a really fun project.
mm,
It would have been enough for me to just work on that as well as my other. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I just
mm,
hop in? And that's kind of what drove me to it.
nice.
Yeah.
And now what year was that when you jumped into it full time?
I think it was 2023.
Okay.
Uh,
So 2023, you're doing it full time now.
yeah.
What's the primary? d- Is it websites, social media, same thing, or did you alter the business model?
Yeah, so when I went full time, I was able to be more strategic with our clients. So, virtual chief marketing officer kind of
Mm,
service, where we could do that and then execute on like the social, build websites when needed. So we did a lot of the kind of strategy, social, and web. I'd say were the three kind of core components. Where we lacked was kind of some of the more technical stuff. So like large paid ads campaigns, large search engine optimization campaigns, and kind of that's when we were acquired by SEO Plus. That's kind of what they really brought to the table that we were missing. So it was a really good match.
okay, so the alignment was there for SEO Plus. When did that acquisition happen?
It was August last year.
Okay, so
Uh, yeah,
2025.
August
So you
2025.
ran your company for 2 years full
Yeah.
time. Did you build up a team? Was there?
Yeah. Yeah. So we had a team. We had a great book of clients. And it just kind of, the synergies were there where it made sense, I think, on both sides. And so that's why I always sent work to them when we were too busy and couldn't handle it, or if the projects were kind of out of our scope, just because they had a much larger team, we'd refer it to them for the most part. And so we already had a ton of mutual clients where we'd still be doing kind of strategy,
Mm.
social, and then they'd be doing kind of the SEO or paid ads campaigns for them. So we were already working together quite a bit. So it was pretty easy transition.
So you sold 15 years before
Yeah.
basis
Yeah.
to a buddy.
Yeah.
Now you're building a relationship with another buddy,
Yeah.
building your business. And how did those conversations start to like go from, oh, this alignment could be really powerful for the client because now
Yeah.
the client's getting so much more value with a bigger shop. Like, how does that evolve? Because I think there's a mindset there in the sense of like build relationships with individuals too and see if it's the right fit for you and you want to work there. Like there's a lot that goes into getting acquired because I've also got acquired. acquired 3 businesses and been acquired
Yeah.
twice, so, like, I know the process, and it's like a marriage coming together with a bunch of clients, and mine was a little different because I didn't know the buyers at all, and the people that I bought, I didn't know. So going through that transition was like 0 to 1,000
Yeah.
because you have to transition all the clients. And then when I got acquired, I didn't know the buyers that were buying me, and we had to like really be aligned really quick so that we're communicating the same message, doing all the same things so that the value is still there for the clients because the value should be more with getting acquired because you're aligning two people.
Yeah.
So you're building this relation, you're kind of testing the waters a little bit because you know both to make sure that the value's there for the clients, right?
Yeah.
Over time. How does it go to, hey, this would be awesome us working together for the client?
Yeah, I mean, so I with Brock at SEO Plus, I actually kind of found him on LinkedIn. I started following him. So another tid to just LinkedIn's very powerful. So I started following it, and then when I was at Keynote Search, we hired Brock and his team to do our search engine optimization. So I could see firsthand kind of how good they were, and they were unreal, and we got unreal results, and we were super happy. So then I knew when somebody came and I was referring them out, I could trust that the SEO Plus team was going to do a good job for them, and for our clients. So we kind of built trust that way.
Mhm.
And he's such a nice guy, as you know. And I loved SEO Plus. I love what they were doing. I loved their content, and I think they liked what we were doing and what we were building. And then I think it was like the conversation, I don't even remember how it happened. I think we were just joking around sometime, like, oh yeah, I was like, we should just join you guys so that we can keep some of the revenue we're giving you, because we were a pretty good partner of theirs where we sent them a lot of business. So I think it was like a joke like that, and it was like, "Well, would you consider it?" And then it was like, "I don't know, maybe." And then because the trust was already there, it was a pretty seamless kind of acquisition where, um, we trusted each other, what we were doing, we wanted to make sure everything was mutually beneficial. Um, so it was pretty easy that way. But I think it's just like a casual conversation of how it kind of got started. We're just kind of laughing, I think, one day, and then
And just
made it happen.
putting things out there,
Yeah.
right? Like jokingly, and that's the relationship. I mean, throughout your whole career, seem like you're a relationship type of individual that you could build that trust. But trust is probably so important to you as well. Like you've
Yeah.
seen them execute for 5 years. It wasn't something that happened within a year or 2 years, right? Like
Exactly. Yeah.
you saw it, and it was probably like, wow, this is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome because clients trust you. Partnerships are so big in today's world. Like
Yeah.
I built my whole business around partnerships with accounting firms, with other people. Because once you have trust, you have that relationship. So in 2025, you decide to partner and get acquired by SEO for the last year. What's going on now? How big are you guys? Like what type of clients are you handling? Like give me the whole rundown of your business models and who you can help.
Yeah, so I'm still running Meerkat. So we still run Meerkat, and then I also have joined the SEO Plus team as well. So I'm kind of working for both at the moment, and we're together. We're just over 50 people. Clients range from multinational, large corporations to solopreneurs, and we help them through basically just understanding what they're trying to achieve, and then trying to align the right marketing efforts for them.
And what's
So
your role now?
so my role is leading the Meerkat team, and then also growing the SEO Plus brand, as well.
So SEO Plus is your client? Like, well, growing, what do you mean growing their team?
So growing their brand. So I'm the VP of marketing at SEO Plus.
Okay.
So everything from internal marketing
Gotcha.
to driving new clients, even managing some of the clients that we're bringing in for the SEO Plus team. So growing both organizations is basically my role.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So growth is huge right now, and you talked about virtual chief marketer.
Yeah.
Is that like a monthly subscription type of thing, or like how does that intrigues me a lot because
Yeah.
to have
Yeah.
someone to help you strategize your approach versus just doing it, I think
Yeah.
it's super valuable. Like, what's that process?
Yeah, so basically with that, it's a monthly retainer, and we break it out based on the needs of the client. So everything from building the original strategy to working with internal teams or becoming their marketing team, kind of whatever suits best. We can kind of customize our packages, and then we can also help kind of execute the items and make sure that they're on track. Adjust the strategy as needed, make the optimizations, that sort of thing. So it's basically a retainer-based model where we're there to support and drive results.
Who's your ideal client?
I'd say there's two different ideal clients between SEO Plus and Meerkat. So as to where it fits. For Meerkat, we're very local. So local businesses. We work with a lot of professional service firms, construction, real estate, trades. So we local businesses, small to mid size, are kind of the bread and butter of Meerkat. At SEO Plus, a lot of multi-location businesses, they could have 200 locations across the country into the US, that sort of thing. So kind of enterprise level businesses on the SEO Plus side.
Now, if someone came to you for Meerkat, what are the typical things they're asking you? Build a website, grow, get leads. Like, what's
So when they come to us, it varies. Sometimes it's just brand awareness. Other times I need leads. Other times it's I need a new website. Sometimes people come to us and they say I need to be doing social media. And then we might, during the discovery phase with them, understand what social might not be the best place right now. You might be better off putting your money into these efforts because we think it'll yield a better return for you. So sometimes people think they want something or need something, but when you kind of really get under the hood, you might say, "Listen, let's go down a different road here to drive the right kind of performance for you."
and how has your business evolved and your mindset evolved in the last 10, 15 years being in the space and now with AI and more content coming out, more creators coming out?
Yeah,
Like, how has that strategy changed or has it changed?
yeah. I think 10 years ago it was all about creativity, being unique, standing out, being different, and then it sort of got into a space with kind of AI and all the automations was just automate everything and get out as much as you can, and that was kind of the mindset few years back even is just kind of just get things out there. And then I think it's gone back. Like if you look at it now, it's gone back to authenticity, it's gone back to creativity. There's so much noise out there. So everything looks the same
Yeah.
with AI. So I think people are just they're crave like consumers are craving kind of more authentic brands right now. So the ones that are winning are the ones that kind of understand that.
And is that what you tell your clients too? Like, how do you tell someone to be more authentic?
Yeah, I think it's just in the way we deliver the services for them, right? So, on social, if you're on social media, for example, don't just use a Canva template and ChatGPT for your caption.
Mm,
You know, we use AI tools as part of our process, but it's not the be all end all of what we put out. So I think it's, you know, whether it's putting yourself on video, making sure the photos we're using aren't stock photos, so it's just making sure, your authentic kind of personality of the person or the brand is shining through. There's just so much garbage out there of just like, here's a template of a graphic and, hope that it works. And obviously it doesn't work on social.
and is your the main platform LinkedIn for you that you go after clients or Instagram or
So we do full social management. We do specialize a lot in LinkedIn work. I'd say the majority of our clients are kind of LinkedIn focused, but also want the other platforms as well.
why LinkedIn?
A lot of our clients are B2B. Um, so businesses serving businesses. So their target market is really easy to get in front of on LinkedIn. Um, we do a lot on like Instagram as well. Depending on what the clients are like, right? It depends what the who they're targeting. So we'll find kind of where the best place to be is. But we do find a lot of our clients are in that B2B space, so they're on the LinkedIn side.
And with B2B on LinkedIn specifically, are you you said you mentioned you post at least twice a month. For a new client coming in, what would you recommend?
Yeah, so usually for brands, I think the sweet spot on LinkedIn is once to twice a week. So you got to stay consistent, you got to stay present. Anything more than that, I find LinkedIn, people get really annoyed with people that
Mhm.
post too much on LinkedIn. So if you're posting too much, it's probably gonna have a negative effect on your brand. So 1 to 2 week is that like sweet spot I find, especially if you're a B2B company. Um, it seems to work well.
And now with LinkedIn, there's a lot of people are posting photos, carousels, videos,
Yeah.
polls. Like there's a whole bunch of different areas to go into with LinkedIn. What do you recommend for that type of strategy?
Well, I think it depends on the client. It's got to be customized, but I also mixing up the formats is very important. If you're only doing one format, you're not taking full advantage of the platform. So, yeah,
And I've noticed with LinkedIn, video compared to, I mean, every algorithm is completely different. I think you made a post and I commented on it a couple of weeks ago. A creator was in here and she was talking to me about the different mindsets and communities in different in the different platforms. And she mentioned to me, she's like, Instagram, when you do it, it's like a polished version of you. So it's like an enhanced website. You're talking about kind of yourself and bringing people on that journey. Where TikTok, it's all about the individual. So like, what do you? It's actually more of an educational tool where people go in and search and do all that. Where LinkedIn is more of a community. Like, how do you bring more people involved in a lot of the posts? Is there a that type of mindset? Like, are you always giving content away for free, or like, how is how do you build a brand that is authentic and unique for every individual? Because a professional service is a professional service.
yeah,
How do you build? And this is where personal brands, in my mind, like like you said about yourself, you post about your son playing basketball and you and your wife and your business. Like the business is one third or one fourth of the overall scheme of what people see.
yeah,
When you build a brand for a business, I'm going to take myself as an Involta. Yes, I talked about the people, but it was always around the business. It wasn't about David or whatever it was. Like I wanted to build Involta,
yeah,
which gets boring at the end of the day because it's always like me to the person versus me to many of all the different variations of me. Once I started building my personal brand, I saw way more traction because people were able to connect with me and trust me because they saw the whole piece of myself.
yeah,
Now, to get over the fear of not giving a shit and like posting more than just your business is freaking hard. And it's took me a while. I'm trying to just understand how you get people over that mental block and to be authentic and how you're positioning personal brand versus business brand because the business brand I think would be harder to talk about more than that business versus if you're building a personal brand. There's a lot of questions there.
yeah,
I'm throwing it a lot at you, but I think this
yeah,
is so important for people listening to be like, okay, I want to do social media. I see everyone be a part of a marketing strategy that I can't just pay meta ads or whoever to get my leads anymore. I'll give you an example. I launched Taxify. I'm doing meta ads. A lot of the people that I converted went from meta ads, got them in my funnel, and then went on all my socials, built a relationship with me before they booked. that organic, the meta got me the email.
Yeah.
The organic and them trusting me got the relationship. And then I was able to close that deal. And when they walked in or signed up with me, it was like an instant, okay, let's book because they already seen so much content before they got there. If I didn't have that organic, trusting platform, I might have still landed them, but it might have taken a lot longer, a
Yeah.
lot more money to get them into the funnel. So yeah, I'm just trying to depict that whole mindset around, lead generation, brand awareness, personal brand versus business brand. And I'd love to get your thoughts on it all.
Yeah, a lot in that question. So I mean, for me, so I only really post personal stuff on Instagram and Facebook. LinkedIn is more my professional personal brand. I do post the odd personal thing on LinkedIn, but probably 95% is more business related. But for me, it's just how you show up. So I'm pretty casual. I like to have fun. I don't go on there and like this, so I'll try to have fun when I'm creating content and how I showcase myself. So everything from even just pictures at events and stuff. People drink at events. It's okay to have a glass of wine or a drink in your hand in your photos. Like some people are, based on company policy, let's say.
Mm,
So like I don't like filter any of that out. I try to just be authentic with how I present myself as to how I would present if you met me in person, right? So I think the organic social really supports that relationship, as you mentioned. So when you meet somebody, the organic social is there as like it's like a warm lead because they're
yeah.
already warm with you. When you bring somebody in from Meta ads, for example, as you mentioned, Meta ads, like paid ads, are just a great tool for lead gen.
Yeah.
Organic social isn't going to drive the same lead
Right.
gen as the paid ads, right? So it's how does the organic social support your funnel? So in your instance, the paid ads are going to bring them in. The organic social is going to warm them up. So when they come, it's an easy close, right? You got to figure out where organic social plays in your funnel and your pipelining, and how it kind of supports your both offline relationships as well as online relationships.
Do you recommend just picking one platform depending on the target market you're going after or doing multiple platforms?
Multiple platforms is fine because a lot of times your target's going to be on a few different.
Mm,
I think it's how you utilize each of them. If like let's a lot of businesses don't have time if they don't have a huge marketing department or social media team to be separate strategies on separate platforms. If that's the case, focus on the one that's going to drive the most results for you, and then utilize and repurpose that content on the other platforms so that you have a presence. Now, some people are totally against that and they say, well, you shouldn't post the same thing on LinkedIn as you post on Instagram. It's not really that big a deal.
mm,
People don't care that much. If you're trying to like grow and be a content creator on Instagram, there's different strategies and different tactics
mm,
compared to doing it on LinkedIn, right? So, depending on your objectives, you might have different strategies, but not you don't always have to.
right. No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And someone starting out or building a business, do you recommend allocating a certain amount of hours per week, a budget per week? Like what's your rule of thumb around time and investment?
I think it's looking at it like what's the return, right? So what am I going to get at the end of the day out of my social media? If you're looking to drive lead gen and revenues, you might want to move some of that time and budget over to paid ads. If you're looking for brand awareness, engagement, loyalty, then you might want to look into more organic social.
Mm,
There's no like key of like you need to put in 3 hours a day and this budget at all. If it's not your forte, don't even bother,
mm,
because a lot of people waste a ton of time doing social media that's ineffective,
mm,
right? So I see it all the time when brands come in. I've been doing social for 5 years on my own. It's not really working. We need
mm,
to actually have it work, and then they'll hire us to do it. So I think if it's not done effectively, you're just wasting time and money.
mhm.
And that's like anything, right?
Yeah.
Look at paid ads, for example. A ton of people run Google ads, Meta ads, without really knowing the intricacies of the platforms
Right.
and kind of how to do it to get the best bang for your buck. So hiring somebody that knows how to do it um, is super helpful because you might be spending 2,000 bucks a month on paid ads, for example. You're not really getting anything in return.
Yeah.
You could spend 3,500 and do it properly, and you turn that 3,500 into 10,000, right?
Mm.
So a lot of people will be like, I did Google ads, it doesn't work. And it's okay.
Yeah.
How did you do them? What were you doing? Oh, and then you look at it and you're like, well, yes, of course you were wasting your money,
Yeah.
right? So same way, like in accounting,
Yeah.
you're never going to do your own accounting if it's not
No.
your forte. You
No.
hire somebody to do it.
Yeah.
So delegating and outsourcing, I think, is a way to get the best bang for your buck.
Do you think AI is more detrimental to that? I'm just thinking of your chief marketing,
Yeah,
and you having conversations and you being in the grind and you understand, like, putting that brand to the strategy. Now you can go on a Claude, ChatGPT. Hey, give me a marketing strategy for my business. Gives you a general marketing strategy.
yeah,
Like, I think it's actually doing a disservice to a lot of people by doing that because, yeah, they could say, okay, you should do for lead generation meta ads. But someone that doesn't have the concept of the behind the scenes of actually seeing how meta ads work and getting a sales funnel with series of emails to get into a CRM to later market to them, like, it the meta ads is just one aspect of it.
yeah.
There's 4 or 5 different, what's the process? What's the strategy? What's the whole journey? Are you seeing people now thinking they're experts in marketing coming to you and being like, "Hey, ChatGPT said this. What do you think of this?" Are they more open to it or more like, "I'm going all in on this strategy versus your strategy?"
Yeah, I think like if you asked me that a year ago, people were relying super heavily on ChatGPT or Claude or whatever it is to make them the strategies, right? Or create their content or write their social posts. And now it's just become so kind of generic. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's always going to be generic. You can prompt the crap out of it, and it's still going to be somewhat generic. It's never going to understand the like intricacies, the nuances of your business, your customers, how they purchase. Um, I shouldn't say never. It might get there, but
Mhm.
right now it's not there to discover it in the same way as like a human mind, right? Like you said, it'll spit out best practice based strategies, but the best practices might not be what works for that customer because every client and their customer base are so unique. Even if they sell the same thing, same industry,
Right,
their client base and how they're purchasing is going to be different from someone else.
right.
So I think it's and how you present your brand is going to be totally different. So you can't take a generic strategy approach. It's got to be customized.
And every client that comes in, do they always have a marketing plan, strategy, like, before they even get started? Is that, like, one of the pillars of the discovery?
So sometimes it really depends. Like some of the enterprise level clients we work with, like they've got full strategies. They just need help executing or figuring out what's the right strategy on the right platform or tool. So it's a mix. They can come in knowing exactly, here's our marketing strategy. How do we make this tool fit and work for us to drive the performance we need? Other people will come in and say, I don't do much in marketing, or we're doing some marketing. We don't really know what works. We need a plan. So it kind of really varies. In marketing, it's got to be all customized, right?
Right.
Everything is about customization, personalization, so that you can be unique as a brand.
Do you have a coach or a mentor that helps you? Like, well, sometimes when you're in, I mean, you go to events to get out of your own algorithm
Yeah.
that changes the algorithm to a different algorithm. Do you follow people or, someone online that you're like, his content's amazing, I follow him? I recommend this individual for this specific thing, building brands, building lead generations. Is there any content around that?
I mean, Brock Murray at SEO Plus, like I've learned a lot from him. I love the way he thinks. He's very like process driven, technical. He understands the innovation in the industry. So any like new AI stuff that's coming out, he's all over it. And so I've always followed him even before joining, just to keep up with what's happening in the industry. Um, Another person I know is kind of cliche, but Gary V, I find he gets you to kind of think differently.
Mm.
Not to quote the Apple tagline there. I find like his thought process is different than mine, so it kind of gives another perspective to how to show up from like a personal branding standpoint.
Yeah, because his mindset's like right now, build a personal brand, post 80 times a day,
Yeah,
repurpose everything, and just put yourself out there.
yeah.
What do you feel? How do you feel about that?
Well, it's a different approach. And it depends on who you are and what you're trying to achieve.
Mm,
And it could be the right approach for you. It's not the right approach for me.
mm,
But I get a lot of value from his content just to see his perspective and how he thinks about things.
mm.
It gets you just thinking a different way.
And when you say it's not the right approach for you, is it, how do you know that? Like, is it
I'm
just a comfort thing?
no, I'm not trying to go viral. I'm not trying to be the next you know,
Gary Vee.
marketing
Yeah.
celebrity, let's say. For me, it's about how do I service my clients the best. Um, if I'm posting like that, people get sick of me. Like
Mhm.
I'm not that kind of person, right? I don't have that personality to to be a celebrity,
Right.
right? And it's not what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
And knowing who you are is probably very important to your marketing
Yeah.
strategy too, and being authentic. Like, do you want to put yourself out there? Like, what's the limits to that? Do you want to post every day? Like, those are very important questions that you have to ask yourself to be like, yeah, is this you? But how do people even know if it's them before they even do it? Because, like we mentioned at the beginning, taking a video yourself, I don't care who it is, that's not anyone. Like looking in the camera and doing a 30-second
Yeah.
clip with a hook and all this stuff, like it's so unnatural to so many people. So,
Yeah.
how do you know for you that, hey, I don't want to be this person, I want to be this person, I want to be my unique self versus following the Gary Vee or following those influencer type of mindsets?
It's a good question. I think it's just like you said, it's just about knowing who you are. Right? Like if I look at my kids, for example, my son shies away if you put a camera in his face, but he loves when I get basketball videos of him. He's got his own accounts. I run them for him because he's 9.
That's awesome.
But like he won't talk to the camera. It's just not who he is, right? So he's never going to be that I'm posting 100 times a day, putting my face in the camera. I can almost guarantee it. It's not him. My daughter doesn't have social media, um, but she makes videos like multiple times a day of everything, putting her makeup on, showing what she got from the dollar store, unpacking, new shoes or something that come out. She's always making videos and is very comfortable making videos. So like for somebody like her, if she wanted to choose a career path and wanted to be an influencer or, you know, uh, brand reps, that sort of thing, like I would say she could probably easily do it.
Mm.
My son, he's more like me where it's like not great in front of the camera, but you like doing it,
Yeah.
so it's fun, but you might not choose it as a career path. I think Gary Vee specifically speaks to creators that want to be creators as their career path,
Mm,
and they want to either be YouTubers, streamers,
mm.
or influencers. And if you look at the data of, kids growing up now, what they want to
Yeah.
be, like that's what they want to be.
Yeah, it's crazy.
When I was a kid, it was like doctor, lawyer,
Professional
or
athlete.
whatever it is, right? Now it's YouTubers, I think the number one thing that people wanna be.
Wow. Crazy how the world has completely shifted.
Yeah.
When we talk about results, what's a good I know it's gonna probably depend on the the person and the company and whatnot, but I remember when I started Google Ads X amount of years ago, whoever I was doing Google Ads with was like, it's gonna take you 6 months before you even see a result. So when we talk about results and brand awareness versus lead generation, like what's the rule of thumb of when you can see the return on investment after a certain amount of time, a certain amount of effort, or like, is there a rule of thumb around that?
There's not really any silver bullet, to be honest. If you knew exactly how much to put in and when, how much the return will be in what time, everybody be doing it that way.
Right.
So I think like with depending on the what you're doing, like Meta ads, Google ads, that's more of a shorter term return, right? Because you're looking to drive sales right away and drive leads right away. So you will hopefully see a return almost right away, right? Where if you're doing search engine optimization, generative engine optimization, those are longer term tactics where you might be ranking on average, let's say 80th for your keyword grouping that you want. Even if you get to, in 6 months, maybe you're up to number 20, you're still seeing zero return
Mm,
if you're number 20 in Google, right? It isn't until you're going to hit that top 10, top three where you start to see the return. So, depending on your industry, how competitive the market is, what your competitors are doing, like that's all going to play a factor into when you're going to get your, you know, return, right? I remember at Keynote when I worked there, it was, I did search engine optimization on my own for like 6 months.
mm,
I got us from not being visible to being on like the third page.
mm,
And I was like, This is great.
right.
We're making really good progress, right?" Um, but it wasn't until we brought SEO Plus in that we were able to get to number one
Mm,
for almost every term that we want,
mm,
right? So getting to number 1 at the end of the day from when I started to when SEO Plus took, it was probably about 2 years.
mm,
But we've been steady around number 1 for the last, like, 2, 3 years now,
mm,
right? So it's a longer term investment for longer term payoff, because that return, when somebody searches for executive search now and they find Keynote
mm,
5 years later, that's still a return based on the original investment, right?
right.
So there's it is really dependent.
And do you allocate a 5% budget? Like, I've always allocated a 5% budget to marketing. Is there
Yeah.
a rule of thumb around what you should allocate?
Honestly, there's lots of studies out there. It says if you want to be high growth, spend 10% of revenues or more on your marketing. It's once again, it's going to depend on your industry. It's going to depend on what you're looking to achieve. Um, Typically, like our clients, like I don't know that Meerkat has any clients that are paying 10% in marketing of their
Mm,
revenues. 5% is more relevant, I'd say. And some of the larger companies, depending on what they're offering, some of them are as low as like 2, 3%
mm.
they're spending on marketing of their overall revenues. And it works really well for them.
Where do you see marketing go in the next 3, 5, 10 years?
It evolves so quickly. It's hard to say. I think you're gonna see people just becoming bored of the continued noise, and you're gonna see brands continue to win based on being authentic and being different. So creativity, I think you're going to see the full swing back into that. And I think it's just going to be about, you know, showing up in the right place at the right time in front of the right people.
Mm.
Basically, what it is now, but you just got to do it kind of the right way. And it'll continue to evolve. AI is going to play a big part of it, I'm sure. And it's just making it harder to figure out what's real and what's not. But
Have you done any of the AI? I just tried 11 Labs. I don't know if you've tried it. So
I've
it's a
not.
voice recognition tool, which is absolute crazy. So when you're doing a reel, you can now just post. clips of videos to like 45 seconds. And instead of doing a voiceover and you record it, you type a script in 11 Labs, and based on the so I've given it a lot of my podcast videos, so it recognizes my voice and it mimics my voice on the script. So now instead of me recording a voice over, I put a script into 11 Labs and it produces my voice identically to it. And then I take the voice over from that and put it into the reel and then post the reel. So instead of it taking me 3 hours to create a
Yeah.
reel, it's taking me a half an hour to create the reel, because I would always like voice over. I don't like my voice. It doesn't make sense. Like it's a talent to do a voiceover for 30 seconds and
Yeah.
just ramble. Like
Yeah.
it's hard. Um so it but I couldn't believe how close my voice is to the friggin' to the app. Like I couldn't believe how nailed down it is. Where I'm like, okay, it can mimic my voice. When can it mimic my face?
Yeah.
And at that point, holy crap, there's gonna be a lot more noise.
Yeah, I mean, there's already a ton of like AI videos of people that it's hard to tell. Like if because I'm in the industry, I can
Yeah.
tell some of the you know AI giveaways, even just the style of the person or how it is. But a lot of time, like a lot of people don't know. Like even like because I'm in the industry, I like test a lot of tools for marketing. So I downloaded one. It's like an influencer app, AI generator, and I was using like my wife's face as part of it to see how good it would work. And like you'd have videos of her like walking up out of the pool and it looks exactly like her, like no difference. And you're like, oh, geez, like it's crazy. She made me delete the app because I was sending her all these things I was creating. Um, but it was like, it's pretty good. And then even from that app, I think it was around Halloween, I was like testing it out, had all these different Halloween costumes that you could put yourself in and post. And then I'd start seeing all like influencers on Instagram that are very popular, exact same scenes. Like they're using these same scenes, same. So it'd be like a bathroom selfie in like a Laura Croft
Mm,
Tomb Raider
mm,
costume.
mm,
Well, I saw like 5 of those from influencers that are really well known with millions of followers. Like, they're using AI. They're not buying like 100 costumes and then putting them all on, doing their makeup and posting them. They're just using these apps to generate these photos, and then people are following. So, it's becoming much more efficient for people to be out there. But it is scary how good AI is, especially, when you say voice,
mm.
stuff like that. And the voice one is actually a lot of controversy around it because
Yeah.
people are phone calling people and
Yeah.
pranking them and
Yeah.
scamming them and stuff. So some of it is just it's hard to know what's real now.
And when you talk about creativeness, it's like how much more creative are people gonna need to get like the creative mindset the last 10 years before AI was probably at a 6 or 7 to be really creative in the industry.
Yeah.
Now AI is gonna push that boundary where you have to be at like a 10, a 12, a 14 to really stand out, to be completely different.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that because if you looked at Instagram 3 years ago, everything was super polished, super kind of well done. People spent a lot of time on the creativity. Now it's almost gone backwards. To stand out on Instagram, it's more the authentic stuff, right? So like almost the shittier it's looking, the more traction you get.
Yeah,
If you put something out and it looks too good, people skip past it. They think it's an ad or it's somebody pushing something that's produced, right?
right,
So they want the authenticity. So it's not just about creativity, but authenticity as well.
right. It's a good point.
Yeah,
Really good point. Um, Before we get into the lightning round, did I miss anything that you would
I
like to
don't
share?
know. You tell me.
Is there anything from your story that you'd want people to resonate with, or is there anything from a marketing standpoint that you think would be valuable to individuals?
No, I think we covered lots. I don't know. Nothing comes top of mind.
Well, if it does.
But yeah.
So a few questions on the lightning round. What is one marketing tactic people still overrate?
Hmm. Radio ads.
Hmm. Tell me more about that.
Well, it's hard to convert
Yeah.
on a radio ad. It's hard to take someone from hearing it now because, in your car, you can't go on your phone. Uh, it's really hard to then remember to go back to it when they're seeing so and hearing so many things.
Yeah, radio's done pretty much.
Sorry to anybody in radio though. Apologies.
What what is one mistake business makes with their website?
Not enough conversion points. So putting a bunch of info on the website without the right call to actions in the right spots.
If you had to if you had to grow a business from zero today, where would you first start?
The right product. So a solution based product.
What matters more, attention or conversion?
Conversion.
What is your unfair advantage as a marketer?
I understand a lot of the tools that others are trying to learn.
If someone has a small budget, where should they spend it first?
Depends on the objective. If it's revenue lead gen, I'd put it in paid ads first.
What is the one thing AI will change most in marketing?
It's a good question. It's yet to be seen.
What is one thing AI will never replace in great marketing?
Authenticity.
What is your favorite way to build trust with an audience?
Authenticity.
What is one habit that has helped you the most as a founder?
Posting on LinkedIn.
What does success look like for you now versus 10 years ago?
Happy, healthy family. 10 years ago, it was mansions and Lamborghinis. I wish I could have both, though, to be honest. Some people do. Good on them. I'm proud of them.
Brand or performance marketing?
Performance,
Leads or trust?
trust,
Website or landing page?
website.
Organic or paid?
Depends on the objective. I like both.
Founder led content or polished corporate content?
Founder led,
Speed or perfection?
speed,
AI assistant or human strategist?
human strategist,
One platform to grow on for the next 12 months.
LinkedIn,
Most underrated marketing channel.
LinkedIn.
One word that defines great marketing.
I'm not a wordsmith. I don't even know how to answer that. I'm sure I'll think after. Be like, damn it. I'll go with creativity.
Best piece of advice you've ever received.
So many. Network is your net worth, maybe. It's
Morn-
cliche, but
Morning person or a night owl?
morning person.
If you were not in marketing, what would you be doing?
Be in the NHL.
So we have one closing. That was a great one. Forward or defense?
Forward.
Left or center or right?
Probably go on the sides. Less back checking.
It's actually less fitness. So we have a closing tradition where we ask one last question. If you left a sticky note on your first laptop before you ever got started, what would it say?
Don't give up.
Thanks, Kyle, so much for coming in today. I really appreciate it. I have been following your journey from afar for the last 10 years. And I mean, community's huge. Ottawa's a small community with amazing people. And even starting this podcast and being able to be one on one with all these amazing entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, creators, it's been awesome to kind of there's so many people that have such great advice and are experts in their industry, and I consider you a huge expert in this community in marketing. And whenever anyone says anything about Kyle, it's always amazing things. It's always like, I know him. I have a relationship. It seems like you know everyone. You might need to be a mayor in Ottawa in the next, X amount of years. But thanks for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it, and hope to get you back on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks for the kind words.